it's Crystal. We live in Connecticut, Zone 6B, and it is August 12th, 2025. And today I'm gonna be doing just a quick garden harvest from our vegetable garden. I was out here this morning. I did a little bit of work before it got too hot out. It hasn't rained in several days. I watered the majority of the garden, and then I pruned tomatoes and clipped them up. I also pruned several of the zucchini plants to get some of those dead leaves off. It's already August, but I've still got zucchini coming in and summer squash. And for me, usually by the end of July, I'd have to look back at my videos, but I feel like it's slowed down, that the powdery mildew has taken over. You know, the squash bugs have completely enveloped my plants. And this year I have been staying on top of it, but I feel like the weather has played a big part in that. I've talked about it before, and I always talk about the temperatures and the weather and the humidity and stuff because it is a huge factor in how the gardens do. If it's humid and there's no wind and it's just stagnant air, the funguses, the powdery mildew, the copper funguses that you can get on the bean plants, like I have some starting over on the other side, it happens more often. Too much rain, too little rain, that plays a difference. At a point right now where I'm trying to gauge the personality of this grow year. While it started off challenging with, as you know, if you live up in New England, the weather was really awful for a bit as far as after transplanting plants out here. It got really cold and then rainy, and it got really hot all of a sudden, and that stressed out some of my plants. The tomatoes that usually thrive on that side of the garden, they're not doing that great this year. Is it because I didn't start as many plants as I normally do? Or is it because the plants just aren't doing as well? But on this side of the garden where I got the tomatoes in later, there's a video where I transplanted into this bed here tomatoes on a 100-degree day. Those plants look amazing. And I've got huge tomatoes on. Same thing with the Amish paste. I had a bunch of weeds. I came in and I completely weeded that part of the garden, and then the plants started growing. I just transplanted in there a sucker plant that's starting to grow and do well. So I'm like, maybe I transplanted the tomatoes out here too early on that side of the garden, and that is why they are not doing well. Most of the tomatoes that I've been getting from our garden at this point are mostly from volunteer plants. So the plants that just come up on their own because seeds fell onto the ground from a rotting tomato. I'm trying to gauge the personality as far as is this going to be my pepper year, because I have beautiful bell peppers growing. In 2021, I distinctly remember pumpkins. We had pumpkins everywhere. I don't think it's going to be a watermelon year, and it's definitely not a cucumber year. The squashes are doing well. All my pumpkins and my summer squash and my winter squash, with the exception of the butternut squash, which none of it grew, but I'm pretty sure that was because of a rodent. Maybe I'll be able to get a late harvest of some honey nut squash, which would be really redeeming. All right, let's get into the harvest. Starting off strong with the Mountain Princess tomato from Mowing. They're just blushing. I don't get out here every single day as much as I would like to, so we'll harvest it now. Moonbeam grape tomatoes from MIgardener. I think these are Rosella cherry tomatoes. They came up on their own. Large red cherry tomatoes. They're not large. That's just what the seed packet was called last year. San Marzano tomatoes. This is a Dr. Wyche's tomato from Baker Creek. It's one of my favorites. I originally heard about this tomato plant from Roots and Refuge. Everything she said about it was 100% accurate, and I grow it every year ever since, and it is still one of my favorites. Very small subarctic plenty tomatoes. This one's also from Baker Creek. It does well for me every year. It is the early prolific Straightneck squash. It's a yellow Crookneck squash from Paige's Seeds. This, I'm gonna get this King of the North bell pepper. It's not looking very good. It's looking a little soft right here. The other side looks okay. So I think I'll be able to save it, but usually these get much bigger, and if you were able to leave them on, they turn red when they are fully ripened. And this one's an Emerald Giant from MIgardener. Under the bean trellis, I've got, let's see, Blue Lake pole beans from Hudson Valley Seed Company. And the Tendergreen improved bush garden bean from Dollar Tree. And these bushes are mostly done. I see a couple flowers on them, but this is the Royalty Purple bush garden bean from Hudson Valley Seed Company. A silver slicer cucumber from Fruition seeds. They don't sell their seeds anymore, but this is one of my favorites. See a Black Beauty zucchini in there. I missed some cherry tomatoes. These are more Rosella. These are Burpee's stringless green pods that I have growing in a fabric pot. Tender sweet carrots from MIgardener. These ones, I don't know. These are the Yellowstone carrots from Fruition Seeds. And there's Kaleidoscope carrots. It's a blend from Burpee. Someone had commented on one of my videos that they thought there was a squirrel in their zucchini plant or something like that, and I know what they're talking about. When the zucchini or summer squash doesn't get pollinated, it like gets all fuzzy and gross. That's what it looks like. It does. It looks like a rodent. Over here I have red cord Chantenay carrots. These ones are from Dollar Tree. And I don't know when I'm supposed to pick these. They're the giant Marconi sweet pepper. I've never grown them before, but I have been eyeing this pepper forever. And I'm just like, I think I'm gonna pick it. There's another one on there, and there's some more flowers, but It says fruit size is 8 inches by 3 inches. And this is not that. But I really want to try it. Let me know if you know any more things about this giant Marconi pepper that I should know. And I spy purple beauty bell peppers in there. They're not ready yet. Magic Hat jalapenos from Mowing organic seeds. These ones are the pumpkin spice jalapenos, but they turn bright orange. So I leave those on there until then. And here are some early jalapenos from MIgardener. And some Serrano chilies from Dollar Tree. It's an interesting harvest. Different things. Carrots. These carrots, pretty nice. I think I left a couple of them in there too long though, because they started to get some bug damage. So this is what we harvested today, and I'm really excited about it. I've been preserving things and putting things mostly in the freezer. I brought my canner up the other day and got some pint-sized jars up here washed and ready to go on my cart. I might not get the yields of tomatoes that I usually get. This might not be a good tomato year for Crystal. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're having what kind of garden year you're having. But that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you very, very much for joining me today while I harvested some vegetables from our garden. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.